guys, and welcome to the next episode of the R1100GS service that I do. I bought this bike for 966 euros and doing the full service now. So today we are going to change all of the oils, so the rear drive, the gearbox and the engine oil. So let's get going. So we're gonna start with the easy things first. So the rear drive oil first, then the gearbox, and then the engine oil. And here it's a bit tricky because I have the crash bars and the skid plate. They're all mounted together and the crash bars are mounted underneath the skid plate, so I will need to remove it completely. So it's a good idea to do it when the tank is off. Again, so you can have a look at one of my other videos how to remove the tank. So now let's get back to work. So let's start with the rear drive first. You have the filler plug here and you have the drain plug right beneath here. So I have this oil catching thing here, but it's not fitting underneath here, so I'm using the old yogurt jack to do that. So let's open the filler first and then open the drain plug. So first we need to open this one, and that's a HX6. Be sure your bike is on the center stand. So HX6, and the oil, I don't know if you can see it, it's right below the thread, so that's the amount you need to fill. So it's right there, right below the thread. So you see here is already oil. So draining hole is just below here, and I think I don't have the right tool here. 17 is the biggest one I have, so I'm gonna use this thing here. I think it's 18 or 19, something like this. So oh, it's really old, I think. Look at this. There is also some sludge here, but not much actually, so that means no metal, how do you say, no metal particles, so it's pretty clean here. So let's clean this up, take a new washer, and we are good to go. Technical inspection. Yeah, not so tasty, right? It also doesn't look that good. The oil is completely drained. New washer and drain plug. So drain plug is back in. Now let's refill the oil. I'm using this 7590 from Castrol. It's the gear oil. So, and the amount of oil you want to fill is 180 milliliter. But you don't really need a measurement thingy or anything. So you just fill it up until the lower part of the thread here. I hope you can see it. So just the lower part of the thread, and that's the right amount. So good job, BMW engineers. And look at this shiny new oil. So the oil is just below the thread, and we are done with the rear drive. So let's close it up and go to the gearbox. So no oil coming out, not overfilled. So let's snug it and do the next thing. Rear drive done. So guys, let's do the transmission oil now. So you need the number 8 HX8 for the upper bolt for the filler, and HX6 for the lower bolt. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I think it will be a bit messy stuff here, because this is the drain and it runs, I hope you can see it. So this is the drain and it runs directly all over the exhaust and everything. So I have my oil canister here, and yeah, let's open up. And I cut something like this from a Coke bottle, so I hope it will help a bit, but not really sure. Let's see. So first things first, let's open up the filler. Number 8 HX8, I think you also say Allen 8 in US. So oops. So it can be that there is a bit of oil coming out, so let's see. No, there is no oil coming out, but I can see it's right at the thread, so it's just at the thread underneath here. So I cannot really see it on the camera, I think, because it's not a macro camera. But now let's drain this. So let's try to drain it. Just put my beautiful Coke bottle thingy here, HX6. So hope for the best. You need a rather long key here. Yeah, I need an extension actually. So now with an extension, let's try. Yeah. Oh yeah, almost. Look, it's in between the exhaust and the footback. Bit of metal here, but I think nothing really concerning. So I've seen a lot more metal or smudge in the YouTube videos. So let's wait for it to drain. The oil actually looks good. It's not the same black color as in the rear drive. Now the oil is completely drained, and let's clean up this whole mess here. I think in the later iterations, 1150 for example, I think the drain plug is right in front here. So your whole exhaust is with oil, but yeah. And now it looks all new and shiny. So again, 27-year-old bike, actually not bad. It's saying 9822, so I guess the week 22 in the year 98. So okay, all clean. So let's put the drain plug back in. HX6. It should be 23 Newton meter. Very nice. By the way, here in the back as well, 23 Newton meter. So let's fill in the new gearbox oil. So it tells us we need to put 0.8 liters in there. So basically you fill in until you can see the oil here on the inside of this thread, on the lower part of the thread, so just before it tips out here. So yeah, let's do it. Yeah, some people tip over the bike on the side stand and they fill in more. Not sure if it's a good idea. So oh, nice sounds. Had like 600 milliliters in this one left, so 600 from here and 200 from the new one. By the way, I'm also using this oil to clean up the chain at my F800GS, or to lube it actually. Just like Ryan 49 did, so that's when I bought this oil actually. Yeah, so now you see the oil is dripping out, and just wait till it stops. Then it's at the right position actually, the right amount. Could do it properly with some measurement thingy, but I think this way it's also okay. Let's put our yogurt, Greek yogurt. So I'm doing it all on the center stand, and yeah, pretty nice center stand. Not as sturdy as the F800 center stand, but still okay, and think you can do some works. But I will need to replace these springs, I think, because they're not powerful enough anymore. Quite aged. So no more oil coming out. Let's clean it up. So there is like a storm, yeah, or rain coming. It's a lot of wind, so let's move the bike a bit. So, put the bike on the center stand again, but like a bit diagonal here. in my beautiful garage. So what I actually want to do is to close these elements here, these glass elements, because there is some rain coming. It's a beautiful thing here. Thank you, Swiss engineers. Quickly put the drain plug, the filler plug, when I was moving the bike. So let's have a look once again. So the oil is all the way up to this hole, or to this thread. There is thunder and lightnings, so perfect weather for some job on the bike. Can you hear that? Oh yeah. Actually got some sunburn from the last days. I don't know if you can see it. I'm all red. So very appreciated that there is a thunder now. So let's put the plug back in. So that's the HX8, and yeah, let's do the same 23 Newton meter. No idea how many you need to put, but let's do the 23. Again, I think you can just tighten it by hand, in fact. Oh, 23. So, gearbox oil change done. So be careful to tidy up everything here if it's full with oil, especially the parts that will be hot later on. So all good, all nice. Now let's do the engine oil change. So while it's storming outside, just need to have a nap, right? Hello. So, get back to work. Quite refreshing. So for the oil, for the engine oil change, let's gonna remove the crash bars first. So there is a bolt up here and more bolts down here, and as I said, my crash bar is actually attached underneath the skid plate. So this is the original skid plate here, and they are attached somehow underneath, so yeah, whatever. So we will need to remove the crash bar and the skid plate. So let's get going. There is an HX6 here. And now you should not be doing it with the torque wrench, but I have nothing else, so doing it with a torque wrench. So for the moment I will just loosen them and leave them in place, and then remove it when we have the lower ones removed. So now on this side, so let's do this part now, the skid plate and all of the attachments here. So 10mm if you're wondering, and down here as well, below the center stand. Same 10mm and the washer. Now let's do the other side. One. There is the sun again. So same 10mm and the washer. So now what you want to do is to remove this connecting bar, otherwise you will not be able to remove all of this. And it's a 13mm, so I'm using it this way. So let's remove it. So this side is removed. Let's do the other one. So now we can remove the bar. Oops. Yeah, whatever. Let's remove the bar first. So, connecting bar is out. So now only this upper bolt that we loosened already is holding the crash bar and the skid plate. So let's remove it. So the right crash bar is off. Now let's do the left. That's how they look like. So and they attach here underneath the skid plate. Interesting construction, but not so user-friendly for the oil change. So let's do the left side, same procedure, but we haven't loosened it enough, so we need to do this first. There is a nut on the other side, actually. Okay, I'll show you in a second. So now the left side is off, and the skid plate just holds to its life down there. And here actually you have a nut on the other side, so you need to, almost lost it. But it's right here. So on the other side of this thing you have this nut here, so you need to just hold it with your finger or so. Yeah, the whole bike is basically without any frame. It's all mounted on the engine. So all of this stuff is mounted on the engine, and that's the front that is mounted here. So pretty interesting construction. No water coolant whatsoever, no frame. Interesting. So you can now wiggle out the skid plate, and actually it just holds in place by the side stand. So skid plate is also removed. Now we have access to the oil filter. Sits right here. Yeah, and the drain plug. This thing, skid plate, consists of two parts. They're pretty dirty, I think. I don't know when they were removed last time. So So I usually use this thing from IKEA. Pretty cool. I think it's €1. Very nice. So nice and shiny, almost new. So the weather cannot decide itself. Let's do the oil change now. And I don't know how your filler cap looks like, but mine looks like this. I was wondering how to open it. I also took 2 of those and kind of wiggled out, but actually turns out you can just push it a bit and open it like this. There is a mechanism that closes it there. So yeah, I'm just removing the filler cap first in order to properly drain the oil from the engine, and yeah, let's do it. So the oil drain plug is right here and the oil filter is here, and the drain plug is taking the HX8 again, so or LN8, and we positioned our oil drain thingy underneath, so let's do it. Yeah, here we go. So we will let it drain for quite some time, and yeah, it will take a while, I think. So it will take a while with all of this oil draining. It's dripping very slowly, so it's coffee time. It's hail. Wow. Pretty crazy for Switzerland. Oh my god. So now we need to remove our oil filter, and we have this thingy here. Yeah, so I think it's just some generic stuff. We bought it on Amazon or eBay, I don't know anymore. So there will be some oil coming out, so no oil coming out from the drain plug anymore, but there will be more coming from the filter. And actually this filter goes pretty easy. I saw some people using towels, so you can use the towel in between the wrench and the filter itself. So not so much
but still. BMW original filter. Oops. So BMW original filter. So all of the oil is drained, there is nothing dripping anymore, and the rain is over as well. So let's put the oil drain plug back, and I got a shiny new one. Yeah, I wanted to fit it actually. There's also some magnet inside, but I don't have the right wrench for that, so I'm just putting the old one in the new washer. So let's do it. It's HX8 again, so this one, HX8 or Allen 8, and you're supposed to do it with 32 Newton meters. It's 20, 32, 32 Newton meters. So the oil drain plug is in. Let's do the oil filter. So just cleaning up all of the stuff a bit here. So all nice and shiny. And as you see, the old gasket, the oil filter, was still inside. So you need to remove this one, because you want to put the new filter inside. You see, it goes here, the old gasket actually. So be careful that it doesn't stay inside. So I have a new filter from Mahle here, and yeah, some people tell you that you need to preload the oil filter, so like fill it in half or whatever. So I'm not doing this, never did that. Changed a lot of oil filters with my father, who used to be a rally mechanic and a rally pilot as well. So I trust my father and I don't preload the oil filter. So but you need to lube the gasket of the oil filter with some oil when you fit it. And there are 3.75 liters of oil going in. That's with oil change, and without that's with filter change, and without the filter change it's 3.5 liters. So let's do it. So guys, if you ever wondered how it looks inside, that's how it looks inside. All nice and tidy. And I will now put the new filter inside. So let's fit the new oil filter. I attached the tool already, but I will do it by hand first. So now it tells you need to do it with 11 Newton meters. So let's adjust my wrench again to 11 Newton meters. So 11 Newton meters. Done. So now let's fill in the oil. It's 20 W50, and we'll need 3.75 liters because we changed the oil filter. So let's do it. Almost 4 liters. Nice and shiny new oil. So that's 1 liter. Pouring the oil like you do the tea pouring in Morocco. They do it from a very, very high point, I don't know, like half a meter. Very skilled guys. Nice and shiny new oil. So that's 2 liters. Three liters. So now with the last bottle, need to be a bit careful. So you have this measurement thing here. So it's 1 liter, and that's half of it. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah. Basically, we need to have this amount of oil left. So 3.75. There is also how do you call it? There's like a window down here. I'll show you. So now it's half. So this window should be all the way to the top, I think. And then when the engine will work, then it will settle somewhere in the middle. So, but people say this window is not really reliable. So that's why 3.75. So let's try to do it properly. So cannot see it. Now it's somewhere here. It's here. Let's pour a bit more. Now it's here, and we want to have it somewhere here. Yeah, a bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So now it's exactly at 1/4 of the bottle. So 250 milliliters. Sorry, 250 milliliters left, and we filled in 3.75 liters. Let's have a look at our measurement window. So measurement window is full, so it should be. So guys, I just put all of the old oil into the old oil cans, and yeah, it was a very nice mixture of all of the oils and the brake fluid and everything. So don't just dump it into the sewage, because yeah, it's a pretty tough task to separate it from the normal water sewage. So I visited a sewage plant here in Switzerland, and it's really amazing, and it's a pretty tough thing with oil. So don't do it, and just recycle it at the recycling, or if your gas station takes back the oil, just recycle it there. So now let's put the skid plates back on, and then we're done for today. There are 4 mounting points here, here, and just above the center stand. So Let's try to do it. So there will be some problems with the center stand, so it's a bit tricky here because it sits just above the center stand spring. But yeah, just wiggle it in. I'll just loosely fasten one of them here in order for the bash plate not to come off. So just like this. And now let's do the crash bars. I will do the right side first because there is no washer on the other side. You just slide it down here and find these two mounting points here. See these two? So, and at the same time just loosely fasten it here on the top. It's HX6. So I will fasten it later on properly. So now you can actually fasten it, looks like that. So so one, there is always the washer and the screw, so one, and second one is back here. So I will fix it properly later on. It's 10 millimeter, so but now the time being just that it doesn't fall down. So let's do the other side. Now it's the same as on the other side. There are two bolts that I need to hit. It's a bit of flimsy operation here. Again, 1 and 2. This side is a bit tricky because it looks this way here, so you just don't screw it in, you have a nut on the other side. So let's try to do it. That's why I started with the right side. So the nut is 13 millimeter and here is again HX6. So need to put the nut on the other side. There's a coolant pump in place, and yes, I lost the nut, of course. So yeah, as I said, that's a bit tricky. So let's screw this one in first a bit. So now try to put the nut on the other side somehow. You need really small hands for that. Not sure if probably I should do it this way. No. So if you know any tricks, please let me know. I'm eager to to learn. It's just on the other side of this bolted on frame, and there is the coolant pipe, so like the oil cooler, so it's actually an oil pipe. So yeah, so I will just do it until I feel it on the other side with my finger. So now I can feel it a bit with my finger on the other side, and I will try to fit the nut there. This construction drives me crazy, to be honest. I think now I have it. Now I have it. Now let's try to hold it with the 13mm wrench somehow, but you cannot fit it. Like from underneath you cannot fit it, from the side not really. That's really a tricky part. Do you see the nut there? Crazy. I think the only way is to do it up here, so like this. That's the first point I will do properly here, because I don't want to touch it anymore. Whew. Crazy stuff. So you see it here, and then from inside, I'm not sure if you can see it, there is this nut there. Just there. Yeah. Took me like, I don't know, 20 minutes. So let's continue. So 10mm. There are 4 of them. So yeah, it happened. I needed to redo the right side because I missed one of the bolts on the skid plate, the rear one. Oops. But on the right side it's very easy, so no problem. So, all tight. Now, last but not least, let's do the connecting bar. So guys, when fitting this thing, you see it's a bit different on this side. So it's like a bit longer on this side and a bit shorter on this side. So it should go like this. So this is the right part and this is the left part. So let's do it. So then there are bolts. They look this way and they just face back, so this way, and the washer was in the front. So let's do it by hand first. I'll just tighten it by hand first and then do the other side as well. So let's do the other side now. This side, same procedure, and I've loosened this bolt again one more time because, yeah, in order to wiggle it around a bit, that both holes align properly. So So now the bolts are in, and let's fasten them a bit more. Thirteen. So they're still a bit loose, they can move a bit. So now the other side. So this one is properly tight now. Let's tighten up the other side. So all tight, and now we can tighten this bolt again. Done. So that's the crash bars and the skid plate. So guys, that was it for the oil changes on this 966 euro R1100GS. And yeah, in the next episode we are gonna finally finish our service project here. We're gonna refit the tank, take this baby for a ride, and yeah, I think then we are done and we can go on to the new adventures. So if you liked this video, if you want to support me, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Bye bye, and see you in the next episodes. Cheerio.